operating in the neighborhood either. That could be very bad news. A beat slower than he might have, he heard exactly what Walters said. "Wait a second. An airplane?" "Yes, sir. Y-ranging gear sees one. Speed 200, bearing 085. Range is 25 miles in closing. He's heading our way." "Just one, though?" Sam persisted. "Not a bunch of them?" Walters shook his head. "Sure doesn't look like it. The set could pick them out at that range." "All right." Carston turned to the exec. "Call the men to general quarters, Mr. Cooley. If he finds us in this slop, we'll have to try to shoot him down." He'd been attacked from the air before, even back in the Great War. He didn't enjoy it, not even a little bit. "General quarters, aye, aye, sir," Cooley said. Klaxons hooted. Sailors started running like men possessed. They dashed into the turrets that held the Josephus Daniels' two 4.5-inch guns, and they manned all her twin 40mm anti-aircraft guns and the 50-caliber machine guns that supplemented them. The unknown airplane would get a warm reception anyhow. As soon as Sam heard the snarl of an airplane engine off in the distance, he said, "Evasive action, Mr. Cooley." "Evasive action. Aye, aye, sir." Cooley was a better ship handler than Sam was. Sam had never had his hands on a wheel till he took over the Josephus Daniels. He was a lot better now than he had been then, but the exec was better still. "All ahead full." Cooley called down to the engine room, and the throb of the destroyer escort's own engines picked up. Cooley started zigzagging the ship across the ocean, lurching now to port, now to starboard, at random times and angles. But the Josephus Daniels was only a destroyer escort, not a full-fledged destroyer. She had a smaller crew, a smaller hull, and a smaller power plant than a destroyer proper. She couldn't come within several knots of a real destroyer's speed. One of these days, that would hurt her. Sam felt it in his bones. He hoped today wasn't the day. The airplane with the blue-white-red British roundel broke through the clouds. "All guns, open fire!" Sam shouted. They did. The racket was impressive. Even the pop guns that were the Josephus Daniels' main armament could fire anti-aircraft shells. Black puffs of smoke appeared around the British aircraft. Sam nodded to himself in more than a little satisfaction. He was still no great shakes as a ship handler, no. But gunnery aboard the Josephus Daniels was far better than it had been when he took over the ship. He'd been part of a 5-inch gun crew before becoming an officer. He knew what was what there. That airplane jinked and dodged like the destroyer escort, though much faster. It had a bomb slung under his belly. It also had floats under the belly in each wing. Despite its maneuvers, it bored in on the Josephus Daniels. The bomb fell free. The airplane raced away. Cursing, Pat Cooley swung the ship hard to starboard. With a roar and a great gout of water hurled into the sky, the bomb burst about 100 yards to port. The airplane vanished into the clouds. For all the shells the gunner threw at it, Sam didn't think they'd hit it. He hoped no splinters from the bomb casing had sliced into his crew. "Nice job, Pat," he said. "Thank you, sir," the exec answered. "Every so often this looks like work, doesn't it?" "Maybe a little," Carston answered. They smiled at each other, both glad to be alive. Sam went on. "Well, we don't have to worry about a limey carrier anyway." "Sir?" Cooley said. "Oh, I guess you were kind of occupied." Sam chuckled under his breath. "Son of a bitch was a float plane. A freighter could catapult launch it, let it scout around, and then haul it out of the drink with a crane." "Damn! My hat's off to the pilot," Cooley said. "I sure as hell wouldn't want to try putting a plane down on the water in seas like this." "Good point." Sam hadn't thought of that, but he nodded. "When I was on the Remembrance, we wouldn't launch or land aircraft from the flight deck in this, let alone try to get down on the sea. But that's not my worry. Mr. Walters." "Sir?" the Y-range operator said. "You still have that airplane on your screen? What's his course?" "Flying out at 085, sir. Going out on the reciprocal of the vector he came at us on." "All right." Sam turned back to the exec. "Mr. Cooley, bring our course to 080.